She was a beautiful, smiling mother from Arizona. But behind the photos on social media was a dark secret, a doomsday cult, a trail of dead bodies, and the ultimate betrayal. This is the full, shocking story of Lori Vallow Daybell, the so-called cult mom convicted of murdering her own children. In this true crime documentary, we trace Lori's chilling transformation from a mother to a murderer. We'll cover the Doomsday prophecies of Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, the mysterious deaths of their former spouses, the disappearance of her children JJ and Tylee, the grim discovery in Chad Daybell's backyard, the explosive trial testimony about dark and light spirits, and Lori Vallow's stunning conviction and sentencing. This is a story of twisted faith, fatal greed, and the unthinkable crime of a mother against her own children. What does a monster look like? Does it have horns, claws, or does it have a perfect, smiling face? A face of a mother. This is a story that begins with a prayer and ends in a shallow grave. A story of angels and demons, of the end of the world, and of two beautiful, bright-eyed children who never knew their own mother would mark them for death. Our story centers on Lori Vallow, a mother of two from Arizona. By all appearances, she was a devout member of the Latter-day Saint community. But after her third marriage ended, she met a man online who would change everything. His name was Chad Daybell. Chad was a publisher of obscure religious books who began to see himself as a prophet. He spoke of visions, of the end times, and of a group of 144,000 chosen believers. Together, Chad and Lori crafted a dangerous new belief system. They claimed they could tell if a person's soul had been taken over by a dark spirit. These people, they said, were zombies, and the only way to free their soul was to kill their body. And then the bodies started to pile up. First, in July 2019, was Lori's fourth husband, Charles Vallow. He was shot and killed by her brother, Alex Cox, who claimed it was in self-defense during a confrontation over the children. Police initially believed it, but now they saw it as the first act. Lori and the children moved to Idaho to be closer to Chad. By October, Chad's wife of 29 years, Tammy Daybell, was dead. The cause originally listed as natural causes. But just 2 weeks after Tammy was in the ground, Chad and Lori were married on a beach in Hawaii. They smiled for the camera, looking like any happy couple, but the clock was already ticking. The trouble began when concerned family members couldn't get in touch with Lori's two children, JJ Vallow, her 7-year-old adopted son with special needs, and Tylee Ryan, her vibrant 16-year-old daughter. They had simply vanished. When police in Idaho conducted a welfare check in November 2019, Lori and Chad were evasive. Where were the children? Lori claimed JJ was with a family friend in Arizona. Chad said Tylee was away at college, but there were no records, no sightings. It was as if they had been erased. The couple then abruptly fled to Hawaii. As the national media descended on the story, the world wondered, where were JJ and Tylee? Back in Idaho, investigators zeroed in on Chad Daybell's property. In June 2020, they executed a search warrant. In a pet cemetery on the edge of the land, they made a horrifying discovery. Buried under a layer of rocks and a fresh layer of soil, they found the remains of JJ Vallow. His little body was wrapped in garbage bags and duct tape. Nearby, they found the charred and dismembered remains of 16-year-old Tylee Ryan. She had been burned in a fire pit. The zombies had been destroyed. At her 2023 trial, Lori Vallow didn't just plead not guilty. She claimed she was not competent to stand trial. The world watched as the picture of a delusional woman was painted. But the jury saw a different story. Prosecutors laid out a mountain of evidence. Text messages between Lori and Chad discussing the children's dark ratings. Testimony from friends about their bizarre doomsday beliefs. Financial records showed Lori was collecting Social Security benefits for the children after they were dead. The most chilling testimony, Lori's own friend testified that Lori told her JJ and Tylee had become zombies and that their bodies had been taken over by evil spirits. For Lori and Chad, the murders weren't a crime, they were a necessary exorcism. In the end, the jury saw through the veil of religion and found Lori Vallow Daybell guilty of the murders of her 2 children and of conspiring to murder Tammy Daybell. The judge sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole. When given the chance to speak, Lori Vallow said nothing. No apology, no remorse, just a chilling silence. This is more than a story of murder. It's a story about how faith can be twisted into a weapon, how love can be corrupted into possession, and how the most dangerous monsters are not the ones under the bed, but the ones who tuck you in at night. What do you think was the true motive? Greed, delusion, or a terrifying combination of both? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story shocked you, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the most disturbing true crime cases.